What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we got something awesome going on. We are actually headed to the ramp. It is about 6 o'clock. Gonna be dropping in right when the sun's coming up, and then got a little bit of a run north towards the Clushatchee area. We're gonna be trying to get on them. The goal for today is to catch a big snook or a big redfish. Probably gonna be throwing topwater depending on what time I get there. Going to transition into a gulp or NLBN swim bait probably after that when the sun comes up a little bit. We are back on the egret. Super happy about that. Super excited. I love that boat. It's a fishing machine. Today, I am super excited. We should have an awesome day of possibly sight casting, doing a bunch of awesome stuff. So we're going to drop in, head on the water, and I will see you guys when we're at the first spot. All right, guys, well, we are starting fishing. We just got a nice mangrove line right here. Gonna be throwing around this topwater. Don't really know exactly which one it is, but it's kind of just like a little pencil, white color. Should be pretty good. We're back on the egret today. Could not be more excited about that. Oh, that was quick. That's a jack, 100%. Not really what we're looking for, but first cast, got a fish. Just got to change the species up and then we'll have a great day. All right, well, one fish down, I guess. It's nice. I've been fishing on the skiff so much. I will say it is very nice to fishing on a boat that's a little more stable, because the skiff is definitely not the most stable boat in the world. I haven't gotten a redfish on topwater in so long, man. It's actually like diabolical. Oh, look at that snook. First fish of the day that we're after. Small little snook right here. Ooh, that could have been bad. Treble hooks are a problem, man. You gotta be careful when you're handling these. Beautiful little snook right there. Let's get him back in the water. It's always nice getting a species you're after, no matter what the size is, especially like first fish. Kind of gets that first fish off the board, you know what I mean? You know that some of them are around. Honestly, I kind of like this topwater. It's like a little more subtle. Sometimes I feel like the skitter walks can be very loud, which obviously is good. It attracts some fish, but this lands, and then like I feel like if a snook sees it, hears it land, it might look, and then it just sees something almost a little bit more natural going across the top, you know what I mean? It's not making some unnatural noise and all that stuff. I don't know, let me know in the comments what your guys' favorite topwaters are. Mine's, I mean, skitterwalk's still my number one, unless this thing wows me today, but I could see it doing pretty good for us. That was a decent little snook. He hit it hard. He wasn't, I don't think he was that big, but I saw him come out. It was a sick eat. He hit that thing hard, man. That was a loud pop. It's so cool when they come out to eat it. Like I saw his whole line kind of flash. It's cool. Yeah, I think I mentioned this earlier, but we got a nice tide movement, nice incoming tide. So anywhere I get, I know I won't get stuck. So I might try, I mean, around this corner is the shallowest part. I mean, it's so shallow, but I think the egret might just be able to scrape on by. I think it's a jack. Oh my goodness, look at that mangrove snapper, guys. That is a stud. That's one you'd want to bring home, put on the dinner table. I think it's probably 13, 14 inches, but he was fat. Those things will eat anything, dude. Those things love anything that moves. Those things will smoke topwaters. They're one of the most aggressive fish. Ooh, that's gotta be a fish. It's gonna be a tough thing to land if I do hook one. Jeez. Something's coming after it. Big fish. I wonder if that's what was on it, because it looked like a massive head wake. Maybe it's just super shallow. That is awesome though. You guys probably saw that. He was trailing it for a minute. Pretty fish. Yeah, a lot of times, sometimes when it's super shallow, it can almost be tough. Some of the fish look like they're freaking 40-inch snook trailing it. Well guys, quick little update. It is not even 8:10, so we've been fishing for a little over 30 minutes and a couple decent little fish, little snook, which is always fun. But that last one was super awesome. He probably was chasing it down in inches of water. I thought a massive snook or redfish was on it. I think it was that guy, just a little guy, but it was so shallow, he looked like a tank trailing it. But regardless, anytime you're hooking some snook on topwater, it's always fun. And I think we're gonna find a big one. I'm hoping I can get back in this bay. I honestly think I'm delusional for thinking I will be able to, but we're gonna try. Guys, the egret is literally the greatest flat spout, dude. I just floated over probably 6 inches, maybe less, of oysters in the egret 18-9. It is just an insane boat, man. That's a big snook. That's a big snook. He's trying to get me in the mangroves. Stop this trolling more. Got him out. Let's put these power poles down. I don't know how big he is. Just got the power poles down. Should be good. Should have a good shot of landing him now. Oh, are you kidding me? It's a jack. Oh, my heart rate is pumping, man. That is so unfortunate. Guys, I thought that was a slot snook. He took off into the mangroves, had me in the mangroves. Was not fighting like a jack at all, man. I've never caught a jack back here either. Usually they're all out in the main bay. All right, well, put up a good fight. Not what we're after. Oh my goodness, I would have bet the house that that was a slot snook. Could have sworn too, when he came up and hit it, I could have sworn I saw like that snook profile. So typically I tie a loop knot on basically everything I throw, but as you can see, just tied a regular knot there because it has this swivel right there, which already gives it that extra kind of wiggle room to have a little more action. So if you tie a loop knot on top of that, I feel like you're kind of doubling down on it, which can almost make it be a little bit harder to like work, you know what I mean? Usually though, with gulps, swim baits, even topwaters, I'm religious with the loop knot. But as you can see, I mean, it's working perfectly. That is what you love to see, guys. Look at this. Look at all of these glass minnows. Bunch of small pilchards, glass minnows. I mean, these fish have plenty to feed on, that's for sure. That is a nice fish. Oh my God, he came off. Are you kidding me? Might have came back for it. If he came back for it, that's insane. I don't know if it's the same fish. I just kept reeling it. It was underwater. I think it's a big fish. I think it's a redfish. Big redfish, boys. Let's go. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that stud redfish. Biggest redfish on topwater. Oh, he's barely hooked. He's barely hooked. wish I had a net. Come on, buddy. This is when it helps having more than one person to fish with. God. Horrible landing job. Wow. Holy crap. That was scary, guys. Absolutely gorgeous fish. Absolutely gorgeous on the topwater. Alrighty, guys. Beautiful redfish right there. 29 inches. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh my gosh, colors on them are beautiful. Let's get them back in the water real quick. Get a release on them. Gorgeous redfish right there, guys. Just cruising away. Right back to where he came from. Alrighty, guys, well, holy crap. We need to talk about that one. Take a little brief, oh my gosh. So 29-inch redfish over slot. Probably my biggest redfish on topwater. I can't remember one bigger than that. Guys, he hit it back in this cove. I got smoked. There might have been more than one. That's my theory as of right now. Because there's a bunch of head wakes and stuff, a bunch of crap going on. I threw it, he smoked it. And then I had him, I kept him tight. And then the hook pulled and I was bummed. You heard me, I was like, oh my gosh, he's off. But I kept reeling it underwater, trying to get it back to the surface, and he ate it again. Honestly, could be a different fish, but because I do not see a fish after being hooked coming back for it that aggressively, but you never know. Awesome. And guys, also that was, I do not know how I landed that fish. He had one, by the time I grabbed him, he had one treble hook. Like one singular hook of a treble hook hooked basically on his nose. Like no hooks in the mouth. Crazy, crazy catch. Beautiful fish. And that feels so good, guys. I'm glad I stuck with topwater. It is so hard, guys. Landing fish by yourself is impossible, especially on this boat. Usually I'm on the skiff, which it's a little easier. I'm lower to the water. Dude, on this boat, you're like 2 feet above the water. I was so prepared to lose that fish. That being said, we're gonna leave the net out, leave the power poles down. I'm gonna throw another one back in there. That's a big fish. That is a big fish. Completely missed it. Snook came out of the water. I don't think a hook touched him. So I'm gonna get it back in there. Dude, when they miss it, like there's times they just don't come back for it. It makes 0 sense. 0 sense to me. Like he didn't even have a hook in him. Maybe he felt it, I don't know. That was a monster snook. These coves, man, when you find these coves that are like tucked away, this one leads back to a little creek. There's so many big fish in them. Well guys, that was exciting. 29-inch redfish. Follow it up with a stud snook that destroyed it and just missed it. And also too, a redfish, it's fall. I mean, it's June like 20th or whatever, 21st. It's starting to get really hot, and those redfish start to become a little bit more difficult to catch in numbers. I don't know if you guys go look back at some of my videos from like May, I was crushing the big redfish on artificials, like 30 plus. But when the water heats up, I think they become a little bit harder to find. And guys, topwater, this is turning into a big topwater day. I'm just gonna keep throwing it until it slows down. A lot of these lines have shade too. It's almost that time though, because I don't know if you guys can tell, it's about 8:05, so we've been fishing for like an hour. Well guys, it's about probably 15 minutes after that redfish. Awesome fish. I still can't get over that, how that all went down. Fish eating it, spitting it, and then him ultimately ending up in the boat with how he was hooked too. Bringing the topwater right through a creek mouth. That was a massive snook. Oh my God, he shot out of the mangroves. That was a massive snook. Oh no. I knew he didn't have it. You cannot make that up, guys. We are 0 for 2 on massive snook. That snook came completely out of the mangroves. I saw his mouth. He had a straight bucket mouth, man. I didn't want to set the hook in him. I saw the bait. It was like on the outside of its mouth, so I just kept working it. Sure enough, it just came right out. If I set that hook, it would have came flying out. That is so unfortunate, guys. Oh my goodness. That was easily over 30 inches. Gosh, dude, it sucks missing snook like that. Especially when they hit like that. It could be a 30-inch snook or it could be a 40-inch snook. It's like it's so hard to tell. That's gonna end our topwater run, ladies and gentlemen. Just got a massive wind knot. Either way, I think that is God telling me that it is time to put it away, because to be honest, I probably should have put it away 10 minutes ago after that snook missed. That being said, guys, gonna switch to an NLBN 3-inch on a white NLBN jig head. Kind of switched up the colors a little bit. I don't think in the summertime there's anything more effective than a morning topwater and then like a kind of later morning rolling a swim bait through the mangroves. Such a deadly combo. Yeah, I think the rest of the day is gonna be a blind casting / sight casting with artificial. Little snook. Come here, buddy. He was sitting real way up there in that shade. Oh. Okay, that's probably our 3rd or 4th one of those of the day. I've seen and hooked some a lot bigger than that. Alrighty guys, so a little quick update. I just got the trolling motor in gear. We're just headed to the next spot. Awesome morning, can't complain. It is 10:40 almost. So I've been fishing for 2.5 hours or so. Yeah, probably about 2.5 hours. Awesome morning. I mean, those snook were blowing up on it like crazy. Got a couple little snook on topwater and then had that awesome redfish. Biggest redfish, PB redfish on topwater for me. I think what we're gonna do is, I'm not trying to be out here all day. I think what we're gonna do is work our way out of this bay, go try another spot or two, sight casting, and hopefully be able to sight cast or just get a couple snook redfish on a 3-inch NLBN or the 3-inch gulp shrimp. So super excited. Sun's coming up, making fishing a little harder. But with that being said, stay tuned and I'm gonna keep getting on them. That was an awesome eat. That was an insane eat, man. I was literally reeling that thing out of the water. He came up and ate it. This redfish just came up and ate it on top of the surface, dude. Alrighty guys, well, we're back on the board with a pretty redfish. This guy came up and smoked it, dude. Like on top of the surface. He's drumming like crazy. Yep. Beautiful spots. Look at that, guys. He's got 2 right there. And then on the other side, it's almost identical. 2 right there again, but beautiful redfish. Nothing crazy, probably about 18 inches or so. But regardless, let's get him back in the water. Let him live to fight another day. Woo, get the camera wet. Hope you guys were able to get a peek of that. He was there's a big oyster bar right here that gets pretty shallow. But he must have been trailing it. He followed it up and right there at the boat, came up, I saw his full body, came up and smoked the swim bait. Pretty awesome eat right there. That's a redfish that I guarantee you I was reeling it and I just brought it right by his face and he was like, well, I'm eating that, that's for sure. Guys, that's actually a decent redfish. Wow, that thing barely ate it. Never mind, he's smaller than I thought. But still a beautiful redfish. I think he has some pretty spots as well. So orange. On the 3-inch NLBN. Dude, honestly, there's no way that's the same redfish, right? But look, spot, spot. No, it's not. Yeah, because when I caught that one, he had a red mark right there. That is crazy. We just caught literally twins redfish. Two spots, beautiful fish. But the other one I caught, when I hooked him, he had like a red little gash almost from the hook. This one doesn't have that. So it can't be the same redfish. That being said, let's let him go. That is crazy. Yeah, you guys can see why all of these fish are here. I mean, you can look out there and you can just see all of the glass minnows, all of the bait fish just on the horizon. It's really pretty. You can see them all just on the surface, and that's what these fish got to eat, you know what I mean? And they go ham. Well, we're kind of on them, honestly. We're gonna just keep throwing the swim bait, I guess. That one must have landed on that redfish's dome because he ate it. He ate it instantly. Still looking for that big snook. Decent snook on it. Yeah, there's a couple little snooks. They're probably low to mid 20s. Big fish. Nice snook. Guys, I just threw that gulp shrimp in this deep spot right here and let it sink. Let it sink to the bottom. It got ate instantly. Root beer gulp shrimp. It's a slot snook. Got him. That was a lot better net job than before. Look at that fish. Beautiful. Alrighty guys, well, beautiful snook right there. 26 incher, but he's a fat one. But let's get him back in the water. Oh. Just let him get revived in this current. There he goes. Back to the bottom he goes. Yeah, that was very interesting. I will say, I was kind of thinking, I was like, I keep trying to throw in this stupid little flat. I was like, I've seen numerous fish come up to the flat. So there's a flat right there, sandbar, if you will. I saw them come up from the dark. So I'm gonna retie, throw it again, but I was like, let me cast towards those mangroves, let it sink to the bottom a little bit. My guess is there's some absolute monsters down there. Alrighty. All right guys, let's get out of here. Let's go try that one spot and then we're headed home. That was a fun area. Alrighty guys, so this is the last spot. Very content with how the day's gone, and we are going to see what happens. Basically what we got here is just a beachy mangrove shoreline, and we have a super high tide. Water's pouring through here still. It's the top of the incoming, so it might be pretty good. I've seen some big fish here before, hooked some big fish, caught some redfish, and I'm gonna stick with this NOBN 3-inch. Depending on how the fish are acting, might go to a gulp. Yeah, basically I'm just looking for dark shadows. May hop on the platform, but for right now, I should be able to see plenty well on this. It's a fish up there. Oh, there's a decent little snook. I was starting to reel my bait up. I think there's some snook or redfish right here. One's on it. Redfish, oh, he's off. That was on me. I felt him bump it, but then my line was slack and I didn't know if he had it or not. I should have given him the hook set earlier. Look at that trout. Big trout just ate it right at, oh, and he's off. That trout just ate it right at the boat. That was a big one. He was probably close to 20 inches. Well, I'm gonna count that. as our slam. He destroyed my swim bait. Instead of re-rigging, I'm just gonna throw this gulp real quick. Wow, they were not lying. Those are tarpon. Those are all tarpon. Big tarpon. Dang, those are all nice tarpon. There was just a boat that went in front of me and yelled out saying, "You got some big boys coming at you." Literally gave me 20 yards of space when there is all of this ocean. And then he proceeds to stop when he sees that school of tarpon and yells at me saying, "You got some big boys coming at you," with the motor on. It's like, dude, they're probably spooked because you did that. Like, I would have probably had a shot at them. It's just some people just do not have courtesy, man. It's a crazy world. And I think they literally stopped right around this corner. That was cool though, seeing those tarpon. Those were bigger ones too. They were not micros by any means. They were probably 30 pounds, 40 pounds maybe. Probably more towards 30, but I would take that any day of the week. They're just cruising down this sandy bottom. Got a couple decent snook right here coming. I can't even be mad at that. I mean, look at those snook, and I just got wrapped up in a tree. That's how you know it's time to go home, dude. That redfish came out and smoked it, man. That was awesome. He's a decent guy. Dude, these redfish have been so aggressive. I literally bring it off the mangroves, and half the time I bring it off the mangroves, I start reeling it fast to bring it in the boat, and then they come crush it. Awesome fish. Super pretty. He's white. You can tell he's been on these sandy beaches for a little bit now. Beautiful fish right there. Let's get this guy in the water. This water temp is cool, man. Last cast, and we are out of here. Alrighty guys, well that's gonna wrap up the day for us today. Awesome day, awesome morning. It's a little past 12, almost probably 1 o'clock right now, 1:30ish. Probably should have called it a little bit ago, but we did get a couple extra redfish, whatever. But yeah, awesome day. Cannot complain one bit. Got some redfish, got some snook, saw some tarpon, had a bunch of other stuff hit, whatever. That redfish and that snook really rounded out the day. Those snook blowups were awesome. Wish I could have gotten some of those, but I'll be back and I'm gonna be throwing topwater here because that was electric. That was one of the more fun times I've had throwing topwater. PB redfish on topwater, which was fun. But I'm glad I could get out here and get you guys another video. I'm gonna be grinding the next couple weeks, whatever. Trying to do 2 videos a week. And we got some stuff planned. It's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna be headed back to the Everglades here shortly and hopefully get on some fish there. But anyways, with that being said, I appreciate you guys. Peace out, God bless, have an awesome weekend, and I'll see you later.